know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh gosh, how can a person possibly be God? How can there be reincarnation? I mean, 21st century, like science, you're thinking eternal life, what? Union with God, union with the universe, you hippie. Well, it's like this. I use this kind of metaphor a lot because it helps to explain the situation of why people don't accept that everyone's God. And it's this. If you try to explain to a person who believes that the world is flat, if you try to explain to that person that you can go east by going west, there's absolutely no way you can explain to that person an obvious truth which we know now. And the reason why is because that person has an assumption. He believes that the world is flat. And there's no way he can see that he can go east by going west. But you know that. A small child knows that because a small child knows that the world is round. So the point is that assumptions stop us from seeing certain things. And when we replace those assumptions, then we can see other truths. So in the same way that the idea that believing in the flat earth stops us from seeing that you can go east by going west, there are assumptions which stop us from seeing that we are God, and also assumptions which stop us from seeing the reality of eternal life. Now the one assumption, the one main assumption which prevents the truth from being understood and kind of easily acceptable, that assumption is called materialism. And now materialism is the belief that existence is physical, that somehow there's a physical world out there, and your consciousness, your subjective world, depends on that physical world, that physical body, that physical brain. Now materialism is an assumption, that's all it is, but it's an assumption which has been attacked from all directions, from, religion has always kind of questioned the validity of this assumption. In Hinduism, the concept of Maya, the idea of an illusory universe. In Buddha's Sunyata, emptiness, that things are empty of existence. And Muhammad saying, the life of this world is but a diversion, this reality is but a diversion, somehow there's something more real than this physical world. And also, lines of inquiry in philosophy. Some of the greatest philosophers of all time, Descartes, Kant, Berkeley, have made the assertion that's been challenged but not overturned, that materialism is flawed because you can never know the physical world directly. It can only ever be an assumption. You can never have direct experience of the physical world. You can only have direct experience of your consciousness. So that's a philosophical reason for doubting. But the real kind of nail in the coffin of materialism comes from quantum mechanics. I guess movies like What the Bleep Do You Know and What the Bleep Do You Know Too, Down the Rabbit Hole, books by people like Ryan Talbot, go over this quite a lot, with the argument is that quantum mechanics really is undermining this whole idea of objective reality. Now, to sum up in one phrase, the celebrated physicist John Wheeler, who worked with Albert Einstein, he coined a very succinct phrase to sum up the situation of what quantum mechanics is saying about physical reality. He says that according to quantum mechanics, there is no out there out there. Okay, it's all very well saying that how the physical world is illusory, but what's behind the illusion? I mean, I know what you're thinking. I mean, okay, there's no out there, but there's got to be something out there. I mean, here's a guitar amp, here's a microphone, here's Swedenborg Hall, but what is it? What is that out there? What is that nature of that out there-ness? Okay. Now, the trouble with this idea of the illusory universe is no one in the past has been able to explain how this illusion works. That has changed, and that's changed because of certain discoveries in the field of mathematics, which give us the tools now, the metaphors, to actually explain now how the illusion works and how it is that physical reality is illusory and what's behind the physical universe. And that discovery, it's called the Mandelbrot set. It was discovered in 1970. Oops, I pressed the wrong button. Sorry, I've got to come down here and I've got to sort things out because I pressed the wrong button there. Okay, and I've got to press it like that. Okay, and I've got to press the pause thing, so kind of like... Okay, here we go, back to the top. Okay, and this discovery is called the Mandelbrot set. I had a laser pointer. Okay, no, I haven't. Okay, technical glitches always. That discovery is called the Mandelbrot set. Okay, discovered in 1975 by Benoit Mandelbrot, a very recent discovery. Okay, this shape you've probably seen in rave parties. Now, it's a very special shape because it's a very special mathematical shape. It's actually been called the fingerprint of God. Now, it's very special because this shape, it's infinitely complex. It goes on, and I'll show you how it is that this is a shape like a circle or a square, mathematical shape, but it's infinitely complex. This shape contains a universe of complexity, beauty, and pattern. Because what you can do is you can take a little part, you can zoom into it. So I'll zoom into that part. So I prepared this earlier, just like a blue pizza. Made a slides earlier on. So I want to select that square there, and I'll zoom into it. There you go. And then I'll select that. I think I'll select that one. And then I'll zoom into that as well. Ta-da. And then I'll select. I think I'll do that one. Magic. Okay. And one more time. I'll just up there, and I'll zoom into that. So it goes on and on. It goes on to infinity. It never ends. It never repeats. It's the most amazing mathematical discovery in a very long time. Now, I've prepared a video just to really ram home the point, the amazingness of the Mandelbrot set, because it's going to allow us to explain how it is that everyone oops, I don't want to do that. How it explains everyone's got. Actually, now that mathematical shape is actually contained in that formula. Unbelievable. That formula contains within it all that pattern and all that beauty. And that formula, expressed in about 100 lines of computer code, produces all that pattern and all that intricate shape. Now, it's a very simple formula, but this formula has to be iterated millions, billions, trillions of times by very fast, high-speed computers in order to render those patterns. But all those patterns actually come from that formula. It's like magic, it really is. It's like that's why it's been called the fingerprint of God. It really is amazing. I prepared a short animation. Okay, this is an animation. Okay, this is an animation of the Mandelbrot set. Now, that's what we saw earlier. That's the entire Mandelbrot set. You can see it's in different colours, but it's the same shape. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to fly into it. We're going to fly into the Mandelbrot set in an animated way, so you can really see that there's a universe of beauty and pattern. It really is incredible. So here we go. So we're zooming in now, like we did before, but it's animated. It's smooth. It's going to accelerate. So we're zooming in, zooming in, zooming in. Incredible. How can that formula contain all that beauty? And the question is, did Benoit Mandelbrot, did he discover the Mandelbrot set, or did he invent it? Now surely he didn't invent all this pattern. He didn't design with a pencil. He didn't kind of like craft all this pattern and design, this infinite beauty, infinite pattern, never repeating, and infinitely complex and intricate. So surely he discovered it. But if he discovered it, then where did the Mandelbrot set exist before it was discovered? And the answer is, it exists platonically. It exists in a mathematical realm. The assertion here is that the physical universe, the existence of the physical universe, is the same as the nature of the existence of the Mandelbrot set. So in the same way, the Mandelbrot set doesn't really exist unless you render it on a computer screen. The physical universe only exists when it's rendered in consciousness. Now, this idea of the mathematical universe is a very timeless idea. It's very, very ancient. It's very ancient. From Pythagoras saying the universe is a number. Galileo saying the language of nature is written in the book of mathematics. Isaac Newton, God is a mathematician. And recently, it's a huge question. Eugen Wigner, the Nobel Prize-winning physicist, talks about the unreasonable effectiveness of mathematics in describing the physical world. So this association with physical reality and mathematics goes way back since antiquity. Now, it's been speculated, this equation, which contains the entire universe, by physicists like Paul Davies, and also in the Bible, this idea of the logos, which means it's a Greek idea. It's a Neo-Platonic Greek idea deriving from the ideas of Plato. The logos, you understand the word logos translated as word in the Gospel of St. John. Very commonly read out in the Queen's speech during Christmas time. It's a favourite. In the beginning was the Word was with God, and the Word is God. Through the Word all things were made. Without the Word nothing was made that has been made. So somehow this word, this eternal idea, this logos, is the source of all creation. It contains the entire universe, but derives from the same person after which mathematical existence is named, Platonic, Neoplatonism, the word, logos. So this idea that the physical universe is held by this kind of God equation is a very timeless idea. The Mandelbrot set is not that God equation, but the God equation is that which is generating your physical reality. So this kind of throws light on the nature of enlightenment. It throws light on ancient ideas, such as in Hinduism, the idea that Brahman, that is God, through the play of Brahman, Lila, creates Maya, the illusion of physical reality. In this illusion of physical reality, Maya, that's called avidya, ignorance. We believe we're Atman, we believe we're like a soul, we believe we're a person. But then through yogic practices, we transcend, we start to see, we get into vidya, we see things as they really are. Lila stops, and we return back to Brahman. We become God again. Now how this allows us to understand this concept of union with God, or escape from samsara, return to the source, satori, nirvana, enlightenment, is that this is how it works. This is Maya, this is the rendition of the physical universe, in the same way the Mandelbrot set rendered kind of pretty pictures. The equation of the universe is rendering my personal subjective experiences right here in this room, as it is the same for you. Now, in the same way we can take different flights into the Mandelbrot set. Each of our lives is a different journey into the physical universe. Okay? And the experience of enlightenment is when the illusion stops. Now people say, oh, this experience of being God, surely it's an illusion. You know, you're crackers, aren't you? You think you're God. And, this idea of being united with the universe. When, in effect, the experience of being God is to see through the illusion. You've seen the wiring under the board. You've seen how the illusion was created. So it's not so much the experience of being God as the illusion, is that this physical reality is the illusion. Historically, people have experienced themselves being God. They've been asked to renounce your beliefs. Renounce your belief in being God or die, and they choose death. So that's how sure we can be of this experience of being God. Okay. Now, I noticed. Okay. So how does this explain how everyone's God? Well, Okay, go back to my slides. So that was the only clip I'm going to use. So I'm safe now. I don't have to come back to the commute anymore all night. So once I get this sorted out, okay. Once I get it sorted out, press pause. Okay, I'm safe. I don't have to do the commute anymore. Okay. Now, how we traditionally view the physical universe is what physicists call the block universe. It's the universe from the beginning of time to the end of time. All physical reality, space-time. So this thing, like insects and amber, represents the beginning of the universe, right at the end of the universe. Now, if you imagine that all these beads, these little spots, are life forms. Some are big life forms. That's that big bead at the end. That's the cosmic Christ, the universal Vishnu, the celestial Buddha. That's the life form. That's the entire universe, whose entire body is the universe that becomes God at the end of time. Maybe some of these bigger beads are galactic entities. In the future, that the galaxies become life forms. And some of these smaller beads might be planetary life forms, like Gaia. Gaia becomes conscious. Gaia becomes enlightened. Gaia realizes God. And the smallest beads are human beings. Now imagine that all these beads, if you imagine all these beads are strung out on a single string, it's a very long string. It has to span eternity. It's very, very long. Then this is another way of looking at the universe, and this is reducing all existence to a single chain of transmigration and a single consciousness. And this is how it is that everyone, all these beings, can experience themselves as God. Once you accept that physical reality is illusory, then what is real? If I'm God, then people in this room, all the life forms in this universe, don't they exist? Aren't they conscious? And the simple truth of the matter is, yes, they're God too. And this explains how they are God. I know it takes getting used to this way of looking at things. It's not what you're used to. It's like being told that the world is round when you suppose that the world is flat all your lives. Now, even the skeptic would say, "Oh, that's far out." But even the skeptic has to admit that now is a way, even that you don't accept that it's absolute truth, that there is a way now to explain how everyone is God and how the universe is illusory. Okay.